Hey, everybody, we're back live at the Hall of Fame. Actually, not live, we're recording today, and we have another guest in keeping with our theme today, which is the younger teams in 16-inch softball. And I have with me Trey Blackford from Hall of Fame Concessions, who won the SSA Class A Glove National Championship last year out in Carroll Stream. So, Trey, thank you for coming. We appreciate you taking a little time on a Saturday to talk
Yeah,
to us.
thanks for having me.
Oh, no worries there. I know I talked with Bose, and he said you do a fine job. Of course, you're related, your father, right?
Right,
And
yep.
so a lot of people aren't too familiar with Hall of Fame concession. You guys had been in the A tournament a couple of times before. You won a couple of games here or there, but last year you guys put it all together. Take me through the weekend. What was it like as you guys are making that march to the championship?
Yeah, that weekend was, a blast. So I think a big difference for this year was a lot of us showed up on Thursday. So we weren't driving in. Typically we drive in Friday night and we're playing our first game after only being there. We just got out of the car after 6 hours or whatever and 5 hours. And, we end up maybe not doing as well in the first game and losing. But this year it was fun. We played, the first couple were pretty close. The YTD game Saturday night was a blast. I think that was, a big boost for our confidence to beat a team like that. They're very similar to us, we felt like, as far as a great defensive team and a younger team as well. And then, so Sunday was a blast as well. We played, I think we played like 5 games, a lot back to back. Played Bananas, who's a great team, lost to them initially, had a few beers after that, loosened up, and was able to, get a few more wins against, Bullfrogs and then a couple more and against Bananas. So it was a blast all around. And I think our team kind of gained a lot of confidence with that.
Well, it was interesting because we set the field up on Thursday, and I know you guys were hitting later in the day on Thursday over at Carroll Stream. And when we got back to the hotel Thursday night, after the Thursday games were done, you guys were all in the parking lot. And I got to admit, you guys forced me to have a couple of Bud Lights. And I got a chance to talk to you guys. And what I thought was interesting was, the consensus was you guys thought you were good enough to win, or you could have went 2 and out. Mm-hmm. And so it was very interesting because as I was watching you guys in the tournament, it seemed like as the tournament progressed, you guys were getting progressively more comfortable. You guys were getting a little better. And on Sunday, you guys just kind of caught fire, and you guys were just pounding the ball all over the field. And the thing that stood out to me was you guys had a lot of great team speed. I mean, your outfield might be one of the fastest A-level outfields I've ever seen. I mean, you had 3 jackrabbits out there running everything down. And, and the misconception, I think, from the Chicago teams were that you guys were somehow a put together team, but that was the group you guys played with all summer. Mm-hmm. And what I think a lot of people didn't realize is just how young your team was. Can you maybe elaborate on that a little more?
Yeah. So we've been building this team for, a few years now. It kind of started out as my dad's team, and then the goal was to continue getting younger. This year's team, we had everyone back from last year and the previous year, I believe. So like 90% of the team was back, and we had only added like 1 or 2 younger guys. And actually, one of the younger guys we added was his first tournament, first 16-inch tournament ever. So he ended up playing really well. Ross Randall was, who I'm referring to. But I think we have maybe, as far as our youth goes, I think that weekend we had our pitcher is in his 40s. Our center fielder is in his 30s. Cody Johnson, I believe, is 30, or I'm not exactly sure his age, but and then the rest of us are in our mid to early 20s. So we're a pretty young team, and it was really great to have some success because we're more confident now, and we'll continue trying to get better.
Well, tell me a little bit more about the MVP, who had a terrific A tournament. And if I'm not mistaken, he had a terrific major as well, because you guys played in both last year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Sam Rogers got the MVP, I believe, right? So
Right.
I think he has been one of the best pickups for us over the last couple of years. His energy that he brings to our team has kind of brought us to a different level. Maybe a few years ago we would come into games and be flat or whatever, but Sam is just always so energized. He never stops. He's the guy who we go into the Bullfrogs game and we're all amped up because we've had a few beers, we're getting loose, but he thinks he needs to give his credit card to our fans so that they can just keep buying them rounds so that they get loose and all amped up. So that's just, he's just such a big piece to our chemistry, to our energy. I think energy is one of the biggest things to have in 16-inch slow pitch softball. The more energized team a lot of times can have an edge over, if you're a similar team. So he's continued to grow. I think this was maybe his third year playing, and he's continued to grow. He's a young guy. I'm 25. He's younger than me by a few years. So he's continuing to grow, and it's been a lot of fun watching him grow as well.
Yeah, you're right about that. I mean, the only thing you can really control on a softball field is how hard you play. So I thought that Sam was just having, he had two real good tournaments. But I mean, you guys had a lot of guys that had great tournaments. And, I think a guy that surprised me a little bit was your right fielder. I can't remember his name right now, but wore the glasses and the long hair. And you looked at him and he looked like he should have been like a professor at UC Berkeley or something. And but he was, in right field, man, that kid can run it. He was tracking balls down and just doing a great job.
That's Connor Beagley. He's got, the best hair in softball. Girls or guys, I think he's got the best hair in softball. And yeah, he's got, a great story. We picked him up, 3 years ago. He played a lot first year. Second year, he didn't, play as well. So he's a very unselfish player because he sat a lot his second year in big games, which I think speaks to his character. He understood that he wasn't playing as well, and he was willing for the team success to sit. And last year, he had a phenomenal year, and we expect him to continue having a phenomenal year. He's the same age as me, so he's 25 or 26. So he's going to continue getting better as well. And his hair is going to continue getting longer, I think, because he still hasn't cut it. So it'll be fun.
Yeah, that's nice. So Hall of Fame Concessions, you guys travel well. You guys had a good fan base out there. I'm always impressed when you guys travel, and we have a hard time here in Chicago getting guys just to show up for league play a half an hour away from their house. And you guys are traveling and coming into Chicago sometimes 2-3 times a year. Mm-hmm. And, your crowd is always good natured and having a good time. And I would imagine as players, it's nice to kind of have that around when you're that far away from home.
Definitely. It's nice to have, the support that we have. We have a lot of wives and families from the team, just like any team. But they're super supportive of all of us. Even if we, may get a little tipsy every now and then and maybe push the edge, but they're always super great, super supportive. Most of them are there at almost every game. So yeah, it's been great to have the fan base that we have.
Okay. So that's Trey Blackford, Hall of Fame Concessions, of course, sponsored by Joe Court, who runs the concession stand out in Marshalltown. And Joe did a great job during the SSA Major National Championship Tournament last year out in Marshalltown. And so as a result of that, that's your Hall of Fame concessions. I know we'll be seeing you guys in Chicago this year. Unfortunately, you can't play A again, but I think that talking to Joe and most of your guys, they didn't seem too intimidated by that. So
we'll hopefully we're planning on coming up for some no glove this year, and getting our feet wet with that. So hopefully we can kind of see where we're at with that. So
okay, well, good luck to you, Trey. Thanks for jumping in, Trey Blackford. Now we're going to go back to another word from our corporate partners, and then we'll be back after that. So thanks for coming in, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.